Now available in paperback and e-readers. E-Steam Horror of the Hyena Woman. Hell's Aspiring Angel takes on a wicked werewolf in this action-packed all-new E-Steam series adventure. Get E-Steam Horror of the Hyena Woman in paperback and e-readers today.
Better get the coleslaw, y'all, cause we're having us a barbecue.
A black woman who was shopping at a Marshall's allegedly bought knives at the store and then used those same knives to stab another customer who she thought was taking too long in the checkout line. Now, in this alleged incident that took place in Kearney, New Jersey, 25-year-old Amber Thompson was shopping at a Marshall's where she was angry that she had to wait in line. And as she was waiting in line, she was angry that the customer that was in front of her was allegedly taking too long in the checkout line. And as she was waiting in line, she made a threat to harm her once they got outside. Now, the victim and their family left the store and went into the parking lot, and as they were going out of the store, Amber Thompson went and purchased a package of knives, and after purchasing the package of knives and leaving the store with her purchase, this is where Amber Thompson allegedly went into the parking lot, chased the victim who was shopping at the Marshalls down, and stabbed her several times. And after stabbing her several times, this is where emergency medical services rushed the victim to the hospital, where she thankfully only had non-life-threatening injuries. Now, Thompson was later found in the bathroom of the Marshalls with a bloody knife on top of a baby changing station, according to police. And this is where they took her into custody and charged her with numerous charges, including aggravated assault and serious weapons charges. And I'm believing that the reason why this woman wasn't charged with attempted murder is basically because this possibly was a case of a black-on-black violent incident, and that's the reason why this woman wasn't charged with the attempted murder she actually participated in. Now, the police in Kearney, New Jersey, are seeing this as an isolated incident, but when I take a critical examination of the behavior that Amber Thompson allegedly participated in, it definitely fits the pattern and profile of dysfunctional feminist indoctrinated women I talk about in my book, The Woman Crisis, and the behavior of dysfunctional black women that I talk about in my book, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single. Now, this black woman definitely is one of those black women who I would classify as a child of the corn, basically one of those women who grew up with no sort of structure or no sort of understanding of social rules whatsoever, and basically because she didn't get those lessons in her formative years at basically 3 and 4 years old. This is why she was going out and participating in what I call an adult temper tantrum by threatening this other customer and going to look to, again, do harm to her for basically going out here and doing something everybody does. Again, sometimes when you're in a store, sometimes items take a long time to ring up, and sometimes when a customer has multiple items, it can take a while for them to get all their items processed at the cashier. Now, this is something Amber Thompson really had a hard time understanding because she didn't get that formative lesson in her childhood about having discipline and having patience and being able to wait your turn. This is something that a child learns back when they are in the early days of daycare and kindergarten. This is something that a child gets taught by those teachers, and even before then by their mother. They're taught to be patient and taught to have some sort of self-control, and to be able to wait your turn. And once you wait your turn, you will be able to get the opportunity to be able to get your items processed by the cashier. That's what everybody learns, again, when they're very little. But sadly, when it came down to Amber Thompson, it seems like she didn't really learn that lesson. And this is why this woman, as she was in that line, was simmering and boiling in anger, simmering and boiling in anger, believing that this customer was taking too long in the checkout line. And after having that whole arrogant assumption, then decided to threaten to harm this customer, all for going out here and just looking to do some shopping, threatening this woman who did nothing to her whatsoever, all because this woman basically was not raised with the discipline and self-control that she needed to have as a woman. No, she didn't get that lesson because in our modern society, what's been happening with children is that we haven't been really raising them for the last 60 years as related to learning the written and unwritten social rules, the unwritten and written social rules about how to behave in society. And because these children don't get these lessons at an early age, what happens is that as they become adults, they believe it is their right to go out here and be able to harm someone because they are caught up in their feelings, and because they're not taught to navigate through their emotions. What happens in the case of many feminist indoctrinated women, what happens in the case of many of these feminist indoctrinated women, is that they get so caught up in their feelings that they act impulsively on them. And as they act impulsively on those feelings, what happens with these women is that they go out here and escalate a minor matter, such as having to wait a while in a line at a retail establishment, into a major crime. And that's sadly what happened here in the case of Amber Thompson, who basically wound up putting her intangible of freedom in jeopardy because she had no discipline or self-control. And because she had no discipline or self-control, she is going from being a free woman who was able to go out shopping at a place like Marshall's to now having to go to the county jail and possibly will be on the road to going to prison, where she will be going from shopping at Marshall's to now possibly having to shop for commissary at the county jail or at the prison. And yeah, in those facilities where the COs basically establish structure and order, she's going to learn about patience and waiting her turn as she's putting in her orders for Little Debbie snack cakes, ramen noodles, packets of Crystal Light lemonade, packets of Crystal Light tea, off-brand lemon lime drink, off-brand grape drink, off-brand orange drink, off-brand mango drink, off-brand strawberry kiwi drink, off-brand apple juice, or off-brand Oreo cookies, off-brand duplex cookies, off-brand vanilla wafers, off-brand ginger snaps, Hunt's snack pack puddings, Fritos chips, packets of Spam, packets of tuna, packets of chicken, packets of Velveeta cheese, packets of hot peppers, packets of beef summer sausage, packets of chicken again, and packages of again beef jerky. I mean, as she's waiting in the line with Martha, Betty, Big Lou, and Miss Sprinkles, she's gonna be learning all about patience and self-control and discipline as she basically waits to get her commissary, and may have to learn a bit more about discipline when she has to deal with Betty, Martha, Big Lou, and Miss Sprinkles basically taking her commissary either when they get back to the cell, or or she winds up losing it in spades games. That basically is how this woman will basically learn hard lessons about life, because it's clear to me that she didn't learn them at an early age. And because she didn't learn them at an early age, she's now going to learn them the hard way inside of the county jail and the state penitentiary, because this is not the way a healthy person behaves. No, the way a healthy person behaves is that they learn to wait in line, and even if the line is taking a long time, They understand, yeah, I have options. If this customer is taking too long, I can either sit here and wait, or I can just leave my merchandise and leave the store. I do not have to go out and commit a crime. That's what regular healthy women understand. But feminist indoctrinated women who have been children of the corn, who grew up like stalks with no sense of life lessons on how to function as a woman, this is what happens with them, is that they basically are used to people, again, just giving them whatever they want. And because they're used to getting whatever they want when they want, they have no sense of discipline, no sense of self-control. And this is why you see a woman, again, buying a set of knives, taking one out of the packaging and looking to attack another, all because she had to wait in line. Again, the audacity of this female basically shows me how this woman has no understanding of how society actually works. And that's the saddest part about these modern women. Again, these modern women, again, a lot of them have been spoiled so much that they don't really want to follow any sort of basic social rules. And that's all because they are not taught these rules by their parents. They're not reinforced by society. No, when it comes down to things, some women are so spoiled. Again, they think that everything is supposed to cater to them, and they believe that since everything is supposed to cater to them, they have a right to do harm to someone, all for going out here and again being in a store and again having their turn in line. And yeah, some people's turns take longer than others. Some people's turns may take 10, 15 minutes. Sometimes they may even take 20 minutes, depending on what's going on as related to the transaction. I know all of this because I used to work at retail. And again, in retail, sometimes transactions may take anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes. Sometimes they may even take a half hour, depending on what's going on with the credit card, what's going on with the sale price of an item, depending if an item basically doesn't or does not have a tag. And all you can do in these cases is basically wait your turn. Again, this is a basic lesson that everybody learns when they're very little, but sadly, this woman didn't learn it. And she basically, when she showed that she didn't learn this, basically showed me the sad state of black women, showed me the sad state of black women that has them on a road to becoming women in crisis. Now, if you want to learn why so many black women are dysfunctional like this and cannot even have basic relationships at all, you can pick up my book, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single, because the kind of behavior that this woman participated in is one of the reasons why so many black women are single and cannot find a man, because they don't have the patience to be able to work in a relationship, because they can't find the patience to be able to work in life. And because they can't have that patience, this is why these women are single, and this is why these women, again, are not women who, again, can find a man, because they don't know how to work in a relationship with a man, because they don't have no patience. And you can find that book on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find it at other online booksellers like Draft Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And if you want to know why so many of these women are acting all out of control like this all over the country, well, you can pick up my book, The Woman Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find it at other online booksellers like Draft Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And if you want to see me make more videos talking about the woman crisis, you can drop a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback. From the author of the critically acclaimed book, The Man Crisis, comes The Woman Crisis. Learn why so many women have become lost in their quest to have it all in The Woman Crisis. Get your copy of The Woman Crisis in paperback at Amazon.com and online booksellers today. Coming to paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, A Thorn in My Side. The man who rules the world takes on an agent from the CIA from the Black Boule in this action-packed all-new John Haynes series adventure. Pre-order your copy of John Haynes' A Thorn in My Side at Amazon.com and other online booksellers.
Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.